What's going on, everybody? So I want to take some time to show you guys the uniques that we know about for the Spiritborn class from the July 12th playtest session that a lot of us content creators got to do at the Blizzard headquarters. So let's dig right in and see what's going on. And please excuse some of the crudeness here. I did just Photoshop these files because everything's happening so quick. So without further ado, Harmony. So Harmony is kind of interesting. It gives you all stats, gives you increased damage, gives you critical strike chance, which is pretty sweet on a helmet. It also gives you damage reduction, which is something that you'd want. Harmony says, your skills are all additionally Jaguar, Eagle, Gorilla, or Centipede skills based on your secondary Spirit Hall choice, okay? And I'll explain what that means. So when you're playing in the game, I got a video, a snapshot here for you. You'll see some of these skills that you have. It's like, I happen to be like Eagle and then Centipede. And what that actually is you get to make a choice for the Spiritborn with your Spirit Hall. So an example here would be like, I'm Gorilla, and then on the bottom, you've got like a major spirit and like a minor spirit kind of thing, right? You can have two. So I'm on my Gorilla main character, and then I also swap to whatever other secondary that I want, okay? And so when I do that, this helmet says, based on the other one that you choose, all of your skills get that secondary power. And the reason that's powerful is because the second part, each spirit type a skill has increases its damage by 50%. So instead of just doing the regular damage, you would have one, which would be like Eagle, and two would be like Centipede or Gorilla or Jaguar, right? So Harmony is kind of nice because it applies that extra damage to all of the skills that you have. Insane. Next up, what do we got here? Let's check out some more uniques. The second one is just called Moving Dodge Pants because it hasn't been given a name yet, but this is what it would do. It would give you max life per second, which I think is a very weak stat in Diablo 4. It does give you max all res, which is always a powerful thing. And then you get damage while healthy, which is something that you usually would be if you're Centipede or like a kind of tanky build. Glass Cannon may suffer from that stat, but let's see what it does. So while moving, you get plus 30% dodge, which is crazy. Or after standing still for 3 seconds, you become unstoppable. So you just stand still, you're unstoppable. But as you move, you get increased dodge chance, kind of nice. And again, don't know the name. When we found these items, it had this big PH, like kind of purple PH there, and it says PH in the title. So just move dodge pants, one of the new unique Spiritborn gets. The next one, it's called Ring of Gorilla Centipede. I don't think that's going to be the name. It's just trying to introduce like this thing that's going to happen with uniques, where you can have two different kinds of spirits infusing into one item, and I think that's pretty cool. So let's check it out. It gives you obviously all res, whatever. That's great, and that's the implicit of any kind of jewelry. And then you have total armor, which is great because that's what the Gorilla wants. Then you have thorns, which is great because that's kind of what the Gorilla wants too. Then you have damage reduction from poison enemies, which is what the Centipede always does, because Centipede has a bevy of ways to like make you poison enemies. It just drops everything with poison. And then you have +2 to Patient Guard. Patient Guard says you gain plus 10% block chance, and after standing still for 1 second, you gain plus 10% block damage reduction. So when you block, you reduce damage as you block, and that lasts for 2 seconds. So the unique item is kind of sweet because it's going to give you +2 to that. So you already get, if you look at the skill here, you already get like 20% chance to block before ever putting points into it. And then as you block, you reduce damage by 20%. And then you toss some more skills in. So this could be like 50%. 50% damage reduction whenever you block. Like kind of a crazy unique, right? And then you generate 7 vigor, up to 7 vigor. This rolled 6. And Vigor is the primary resource for Spiritborn each time you deal Thorns damage. And you can deal Thorn damage all kinds of ways in this class's setup, especially with the Gorilla. Like, it wants to be doing Thorns damage. And then you gain the Toxic Skin passive effect. One of the next uniques you can look at is Scorn of the Earth. It's got 3 evade charges on it. It's unique boots. It says you get increased damage, you get resource generation, cooldown reduction, which is always good for boots. Attacks reduce evades cooldown by 1.5 seconds. And then Soar, which is the Eagle mobility skill that allows you to become the bird, land, and do some like lightning damage. Soar deals 50% multiplicative damage, but it doesn't really do that much damage anyway. Just kind of additive damage, right? Increased damage, and your evade is now Soar. So think of like Metamorphosis, where you kind of turn into bats and move around. This one, like you turn into the Eagle, you land. Turn the Eagle, and you land. It's pretty cool, and your attacks reducing evades cooldown. It's just nice when you get in those situations you got to attack elites and stuff. Now you get all your evade cooldowns back up, and frickin' bang, you go. And you're going to use boots like this if you want to speed farm. They're so fast. The mobility on Soar is amazing. So look for Scorn of the Earth if you want to play like a really fast build using the like Eagle aspect, right? Because you're going to have that. Soar just works all the time. And Soar is your evade, is just helping your evade. Finally, here we go. Sepazontec is going to be the unique ancestral staff, and I've kind of linked in the item here. So it's a 2-handed quarterstaff because that's what Spiritborns use, right? They use a 2-handed weapon. So it gives you all stats, which is awesome because all stats is strength, which is armor. It also gives you dex, which is crit chance. Gives you dodge, then you get like, willpower, resource management, and then intelligence, which is like all res. You do increased damage while healthy, you have cooldown reduction, and +6 to follow through. So follow through is a skill that does this. It says your basic skills deal 10% increased damage, but you double this for the 3rd attack. Well, let's see what this actually does. So +6 to that, okay? And so, really quick, do some math. +6 if you got it, and then you had +10%, but you could put 3 ranks. So that'd be 30% on follow through, and 60% from the weapon is 90%. So if you're using this two-handed weapon, your basic skills deal 90% increased damage, but you double it for the third attack, okay? So here we go. Your basic skills, in addition to what we just said, deal 200% increased damage, and always use their third attack. Some of these basic skills, like it's 1, 2, 3, third attack, and the third attack's always pretty good. Now you always just do that really pretty good attack all the time, which is awesome, okay? So your basic skills do 200% increased damage, you're always doing the third attack, and every third cast unleashes triple strikes. Now, I don't know if that means the same attack 3 different ways, like an arc, or if that means you're going to do that third attack 3 times consecutively, like 3, 3, 3. Like, I assume it's not the case. It'd be like 339, 339 is what I think it is. So this is kind of nuts, because you could pair that with like something like Pain Gorgers and just pop off. Pain Gorgers helping your basic damage too. Like, that thing's ready to make a basic build, and if you know anything about Diablo 4, basic skills usually do really, really good at the end game. So, Sepazontec I could see being a very end game weapon. And by the way, other thing we just discussed, none of this is greater affixed. None of it. So it's quite possible you can get +9 to all of your follow through, skills, which is kind of crazy. +9, it'd be +12. So 120%, like, Jesus, man, that's nuts. Anyway, this is the uniques that we know so far based off our July 12th playtest over at Blizzard, and I hope this gets you inspired to kind of think about the skills and stuff that this Spiritborn has and the way these items want to interplay with it. Again, going pretty quick. We have a lot to discuss, and I just want to get this video out to help you and give you a little bit more robust understanding of what the Spiritborn can and cannot do. Again, super early in the morning, guys. I'll catch you later on today. Spiritborn, dudes. Get ready. It's going to be pretty fun to play. GG's.